The serenity of Pahalgam, a jewel of Kashmir, was shattered. On April 22, 2025, terror struck. Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Resistance Front, proxies of Pakistan, unleashed their barbarity. 26 innocent lives were extinguished. The nation mourned. But this time, grief was intertwined with rage. India had been pushed too far. The world watched, expecting the usual condemnations. Instead, they saw a new India rise. This was not the India of old, resigned to empty threats. This was an India ready to act. Prime Minister Modi addressed the nation, his voice steamed with resolve. We will respond, and we will make them pay. The world took notice. This was not a hollow threat. This was a promise. India had drawn a red line, and it was prepared to defend it, no matter the cost. The question was not if, but when and how India would respond. India's response was swift and decisive. The Indus Waters Treaty, a relic of a bygone era, was suspended. This was a lifeline for Pakistan, and India cut it off. The message was clear. Terror would no longer be cost-free. India would hit back and hit back hard. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar delivered a stern message to the world. Our patience has worn thin, he declared. We will not tolerate the use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. The world listened. This was not just rhetoric. This was a declaration of intent. India was done with diplomacy as usual. The gloves were off. The time for action had arrived. The world had long turned a blind eye to Pakistan's duplicity, but India's bold stand forced a reckoning. The US, Russia, the UK, France all condemned the Pahalgam attack. The UN called for de-escalation. But for India, de-escalation was not enough. Pakistan had to be held accountable. India downgraded diplomatic ties. Visas were cancelled. At the UN, India called Pakistan out for what it was, a rogue state fueling global terrorism. The pressure on Pakistan was mounting. Their lies were unraveling. The world was finally waking up to the threat they had nurtured for decades. But Pakistan was not about to back down. Not yet. Section 4, Operation Sindoor, Precision and Resolve. On May 7, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor. Rafale jets roared into the skies. BrahMos missiles pierced the night. Targets were carefully chosen. Terror camps in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Civilian casualties were avoided. This was a surgical strike, a demonstration of India's military might. The world watched in awe. This was not the India they were used to. This was a new India, confident and capable. An India that would no longer hesitate to defend its interests. Pakistan retaliated as expected. Cyberattacks, drone strikes, propaganda, they threw everything they had at India. But India stood firm. The nation was united. The resolve was unshakable. India would not be cowed. Section 5, a confession and its aftermath. The world was stunned. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif confessed. On live television, he admitted that Pakistan had been supporting terrorism for 30 years. He blamed the US and the West, calling it their war. The confession was a watershed moment. Pakistan's lies had been exposed. The world could no longer pretend to be ignorant. The US, once Pakistan's patron, was forced to reassess its relationship. A US-brokered ceasefire brought a temporary halt to the fighting. But the world had changed. India had changed it. The message was clear. Terror would no longer be tolerated. The fight against terrorism had entered a new phase, a phase where India would lead the way.